Let's go!
Well, that's enthusiasm. All right, so end of the day, we're at day 1, Saturday.
Oh, we're doing this.
Oh, we can, yeah.
Try to keep it on your side.
Stop taking up all the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 trophies.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Exciting first day.
So what? I guess I was technically the first race. So race 4 was so big they split it.
A and B.
There were so many 400s that they made the 4B like it was all 400.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. Well, no, because they had the vintage class in there too. We'll be back in a second.
No, vintage was concrete.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We're back. So with the 400s, they split it because I'm on the Ninja 500. I'm technically in the D class, which is kind of a WERA special because both with Azra and Pan Am, the 500's in the 400 class.
Yeah.
Is what it is. I make do. Usually it's fine because I'm on the grids with other 400s, but when they split it like that, I was the only one in that class. So that's one of them. I still take them. It'll look great on my wall.
Oh, they didn't make you last. They just gave you first.
He was the only
I'm
one.
the only one in that class.
It was an automatic podium.
Oh shit. Okay.
Which, okay, take it.
Yeah.
Is what it is. I'd rather fight for it. That race was super frustrating, given that I was on a Ninja 500 going against these way bigger bikes. I was the same distance behind them the entire race, but like from their point of view, they could only watch from the fence and they could see me on the same spot every lap on the front straight because they'd gap me in the straights and I'd catch them back in the chicane and the S's and
you close the gap in the technical sections, and then they'd get on the straightaway and be like, blah.
Yeah. And it was only a 6-lap race. I think if I had more time, I think if that race was the last race of the day, I could have made it around at least 2 of them. Yeah. But that's like the bottom 2 of that class.
Yeah. It's hard.
It is what it is. Yeah. Tomorrow, if the same thing kind of happens, like they're going to split it, I'm going to ask to be put into the E Superstock group, like that have the D Superstock class, move in with the E Superstock or Superbike.
So you still have the same issue where you're in your class by yourself, but we're on the grid.
Yeah,
at the same
I'd be at
time.
least out there with like other 400s.
So it's more
like,
fun to race. It's still automatic podium.
Yeah,
probably.
you'd still be alone.
Yes, right, but like I get to like
grid.
have fun with you guys. Like I'd still be like
and
able
actually
to
race instead of just be stuck in the.
I'm not like
stuck in the back of the entire thing.
Otherwise, it's like that was my first race, so it's $160 6 lap.
Yeah.
Plus an out lap and a cool down lap
and a formation lap.
That's out lap.
We don't have a difference here.
Next was your guys' 4B race. I unfortunately didn't get to watch the start of that because I was literally trying to get all my stuff back up. But let's talk about that. How was that?
I was doing super well, and then I decided to be a geologist and look at rocks.
Dang. Where were your rocks at?
That was your first race?
Yeah.
Oh, you did it both times, didn't you?
Well, no. So my last race, I took the exit, the escape route.
Oh.
But my first race, I went looking for rocks, and I hit the...
Did you find them?
Yeah, I found a lot, actually.
A lot of rocks. Like, all the way found them, or, like, rode over them?
Yeah, I just rode over them.
So you didn't... No crash?
No crash. I saved it by some miracle, but yeah, I kept it. I kept the bike on 2 wheels, and I went out. I think I was 5th. And then I dropped 2 places and then just couldn't recover. But yeah, that was fun. I think I was doing super well. Yeah. Your comments?
Yeah, I've already seen some of your footage. I think you're doing good. I think you need some work on the bike itself. Like not even like your lines were great. Like you were doing what you needed to do, except for that finding the rocks part.
Well, he did what he needed to do. He didn't crash.
He also that video is amazing. amazing. Oh my god.
Cue that right now.
Yeah, if we haven't already played it, like that is going to be an amazing shot. Like, whoo-wee. Yeah, I think.
Side note: speaking of like pace, I went back and I found my old 650 times, and I'm doing the same pace.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
If
Already
not
back at it.
faster, but like at least like I'm on a smaller bike that's making less power.
Yeah.
The transmission's together, but like I picked back up where I left off like 9 months ago.
I'm impressed that I'm only 1 second behind you.
I'm too proud of you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You just got to beat me in a
Picking up
race.
That is true. There is a huge difference between having a better time and actually winning.
I have
Yeah.
with Pan Am.
Yeah.
One of the races I did, I had the fastest time, but I wasn't.
But
I didn't win.
You didn't win. That's happened to me several times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about where you're fast, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
There's like race strategy, like
Racecraft, yeah.
Racecraft. It's
Yeah, because like
Consistent,
if you
yeah.
get a really good launch and you got position in the front, you can only make up so many seconds throughout the race, right?
yeah.
Like usually we used to think that the first turn you don't win races on the first turn,
Yeah.
but then we saw Max Verstappen, and we're like, oh, okay, no, maybe.
Well, I mean, he just has to
I
get
still
the
think
car.
your like first turn is your objective is survive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
That's why I like
I will be
on-
aggressive if I'm on the inside of the turn. I'm
On
not
launches,
afraid, but on
too-
the outside, I'm terrified.
When I launch, I'm calm. I'm not like
yeah.
trying to shoot for a good launch. I'm looking for a clean launch, consistent, because I know like I don't want to risk it, right?
Is a good launch when I feel the front get light but not come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's like your.
It might
perfect power
even
area.
come up a little bit, but it should definitely feel pretty darn. You should be at that balancing point to where like the front is not going. You have confidence that you can keep giving it gas without the front coming up, but you know you can't wide open throttle just quite yet, or dump the clutch just quite yet. That to me is what feels like a good launch.
I think in the endurance race yesterday, I think there was somebody next to you that did a wheelie on the start.
Today somebody did too, but I'm the first race I did, there's a lot of competition this weekend. So expert 400 class basically, a lot of competition, a lot of really fast people. I think I don't remember what I came in.
So this is only your second time here, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
So
but there are some very fast people here on.
there
400.
were. So I remember watching like the times because like obviously I could see you on the straights, but I was also trying to get my like everything else.
Yeah.
But I was taking a look at the times, and there were a few amateurs mixed in with the experts too.
Yeah,
But like there was about like
fast.
I'd say 7 of you. Like, well, there was one guy way ahead,
Yeah.
but then there was about 7 of you guys like really battling it out. Like
Yeah,
all
the
within
difference-
like a quarter of a second of each other at most.
I want to say there was 5 people who finished the entire race within a second of each other. That's after all 6 laps are done, within a second.
Yep.
Right. Let's see. The next race I did was
Clubman.
a Clubman. Oh, best race I've ever been in. Like so much fun. Like there's 5 people up front battling for first place.
How did that SNL skit go? Well, it was a little different for me.
So basically, one of the people I was battling with was Mark Morrow, who I definitely took his class. He's a great coach, amazing coach. He had a bad launch, but he came back around and he ended up winning it. He took the lead maybe on the 2nd or 3rd lap and just rode in the lead for a while and had some back and forths at the end, but eventually he ended up winning in first place. The last kind of lap, there's a lot of battling on the very last lap, especially turn 10 and 12. I overbroke on turn 10, so didn't have any shot there when I was in maybe 4th place or 5th place. But then somebody else overbroke in turn 12, and I made up like 2 places. So like
Nice.
it was all the way down to the last bit of it. How was your club then?
Was the club in a 2-wave?
Yeah. No.
No.
That wasn't the 2 ways.
That was our second one, wasn't it?
That was the last race of the day. Yeah.
It was good. I felt like I had pretty consistent launches all weekend. There was some early passing done, and then
We got passed by a lot.
a lot of the vintage guys
yeah,
were
they were
like
quick.
way more power than I had.
Oh, that's who I was battling was 4 other vintage bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they just
they were
like
fast.
early on, like I wasn't.
yeah.
I didn't really know what I could do in that
Yeah,
like instance.
You know, it is our first time racing in the Clubman, and I read the rules, and I was like, "Oh, this is just going to be a bunch of Ninja 400s." No, these are like old
Yeah.
fast bikes. Like I have a
All
lot of respect
two-stroke.
for them too, because like I was saying earlier, like
the upkeep.
man, this is a 25-year-old bike, and it is whooping. Like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of passion
fly.
and maintenance and like discipline.
There are some of them that I don't think would pass like a standard inspection today with the amount of oil they just.
But
Yeah.
but they take so much care. There's so much to that I appreciate. Like and it's like I'm glad I'm able to keep up with them because their riders are amazing because they got that old bike they've been riding for a long time.
Yep.
You think that's funny? What do you think's funny about that?
But for me, the last, I guess I kind of need to start counting my laps. So I know the X, like they do a green and a white X is halfway. I understood that. The next time I'd been passed a couple times, and I guess I had lost track of, did I just get lapped, or is that somebody I'm actively battling? Because some of these experts are like really fast. Like I think, I don't know if you would have lapped me.
I don't think I got lapped.
In which one, the Clubman?
No, like in general, looking at times, like
No,
it would have
no,
to be
no.
like a really long
It would
race.
be a really long race.
But some of the bikes, like where it's like multiple classes, I'm like, oh, that guy's on like a heavier twin. Like, okay, you're doing like way faster than I am just down the straights alone, and I'm sure you've got like more power. Like, makes sense.
It's so frustrating seeing them just like crawl away.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, stay in there.
But so coming down of turn 12, coming out the front straight, the dude like blipped or like missed his shift or something. The video for that is actually kind of close. I was like, oh, not Miami. Oh, like, it doesn't look as close as it felt. It never does. But I then saw the flag like waving, and I was like, oh, that's really unfortunate that he gave that up on the last turn of the last lap. I didn't let off all the way though, but I let off enough on that front straight. And it just, I thought the race was over, but I wasn't 100%. And I was like, well, I'm going to hurry up and get off the track. We have another race. I want to get my bike up on warmers. I need to check suspension, like a few things. I want to get it dialed in. And I'm going around and none of the other corner workers are like clapping or waving. I didn't see any of those flags.
They're just like, why is this guy going so slow?
Well, I cut it to maybe like 75%. But by the double chicane, I was like, I need to move. I need something. I don't think this is over. And then he passed me, I want to say into 7.
Okay.
But like the gap he had to have closed on me like up until that point. And I was working on trying to outbrake him, and when we got back to the straight, I'd kind of gotten past him, but the way he's way more confident in his brakes than I am. I'm still getting used to everything. And like into 10A, just like, skirt.
Yeah.
So
And then what happened? Then they waved the flag?
yeah, then I came back around and I definitely saw a checkered then, and I came back in and I was in so much like disbelief that I was like, I only have 2 races. Like, do I need to go? Like, if I saw the checkered twice, like, what is that? Why? And I pulled up my GoPro footage or my Life 360. No, Insta 360.
Insta 360.
Long day. Insta 360 camera footage, and was like, oh, that's definitely a white flag. Like, I need to pay a little more attention. But like,
oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
so I've now, at the time, I felt like I was at the back of the pack for that whole race. But for my class, I lost 3rd because of that.
Podium.
Yeah.
You'd have 3 podiums.
Yeah, 3 for
You would
3.
have been 3 for 3.
So that sucks. Didn't hurt as much in the moment. Hurts a lot more now.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Okay.
Kind of have to learn. Personally, I think that they should hold a white flag at start finish. Not everywhere, but just start finish. Because if you're waving it, you're taking an already like checkered object and waving it like.
But the difficulty with that though, like that background is white. Everything around like except for the Motul red sign, everything around it is white. So they need to wave it to actually show you that there's movement, and then that's when you look, and then.
Yeah, that's kind of true. It gets your attention.
Because like the building and
I don't
everything
know.
in the
They
background.
could rock it like they do the halfway
I
mark.
feel like-
I think there's ways around it, but
Yeah.
I just need to pay more attention. Like it really comes
Yeah.
down to like that's on me.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately, that's just.
is what it is.
Last race was a two-wave race.
What
Yeah.
about Nikki's clubman
Oh,
experience?
what was your clubman like?
My clubman was good. That was actually my fastest race. I had my fastest times in that one. That felt really good.
Did you feel like it was your fastest lap time when you were doing your fastest lap time?
No.
You felt like it was slower than your fastest lap time?
I
Or
did
were
like.
you weren't really paying attention?
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just like focusing on like working on corners and keeping speed, getting on the throttle earlier, working on braking. Because I think that like we had the 2 practice sessions in the morning before lunch, and then we had our races. But that first race, like I don't know, I didn't really feel like I got good practice in those practice sessions. So that first race for me was really. I talk with my hands. that first race was kind of another practice, and then the second race was really my.
Some people say like, and it has happened to me before. Like, some of my fastest laps, I have felt slow, and it's because like sometimes when you get really smooth, like it feels slower than what a fast lap would feel like because you're not panicked through everything.
Well, speaking of fast laps, so this last race, right?
But hold on, going
Last
back
race.
though, I
Okay.
will say though that second race felt the smoothest.
Okay.
Like I didn't really
Well,
like.
you didn't have a runoff in turn 12.
Yeah, that helps a lot because both my first and my first race,
The only race you didn't have a runoff
Exactly,
in turn 12,
yeah.
you were like, this
yeah,
feels
that
amazing.
felt good. Yeah. So my first race, I went off in the rocks, and then my third race, I took the escape route.
You took
Yeah.
the escape route, yeah. Were you slow going through the escape route?
Yeah, I was. So I didn't know that you could just gun it and go through. I thought it was kind of like a pit lane thing where you got to go slow, you got to be under the mile per hour rule, whatever. But then the lady at the start finish that they waved the flag, she was like, go.
So whenever I'm like feeling like I'm gonna miss turn 12, I kind of just like brake really hard and then send it. I feel like
Yeah.
I'd almost like
Well, for that
I
one,
don't know. Like I guess the runoff's not bad, but I don't worry about not making the turn. By the time I'm like, oh shit, I'm already in the like I'm committed. Like to steer up and go straight would be turning left.
If you are on the throttle too long, as you're coming over that hill, you won't know it until you're missing your braking mark. Because that's not what it's not missing your it's not missing your braking mark. It's that it's possible to go faster. It's like the wind hits you a different way, and your bike is extra light. You're in a different gear. You're slightly left or right of the boxes, right? And you're just faster than when you normally go over there. And it's like 3 miles an hour too fast, and you hit your same brake marker, and then all of a sudden you find yourself like I do not feel like I can make the turn, and you exit rather than even try it.
Okay.
You just haven't been there yet. I hope you never do get there, but you'll know when you need to.
Yeah.
Because I do the same thing. I'm like, am I gonna make it? But by that time, I'm already in the turn. So it's like, no, we're gonna
I'm
make this
sending
turn.
it. It's low side or bust.
Yeah.
well, for me, the reason I didn't go in because I was already past my
Got it.
tipping point,
Huge one.
and my front was still swimming.
That's fair.
Let's
Let's talk about this last race. That is one of the instances where I did kind of have one of those moments of like, oh, like this is gonna be a little tight. And that's also when I started like really checking behind me, because starting that race, there was 5 of us in the back of the grid. There's 5 of us in the back of the grid. It was you. It was 2 people, then Nikki, then myself, and then somebody else. Off this launch, I got past Nikki. And then it was tight. It was close.
I was right up on you coming into turn 1.
Yeah.
But then you took off at the top of the hill.
So part of what that is, you're shifting too though, right? Yeah. So, It took me a couple laps to weave around the other two people. But after I did, the next lap around really felt great. Like there were certain parts of it that I knew that they were going slow in that I felt like I nailed. And then a lap, by lap 4, I looked over my shoulder by the straight and I couldn't see anybody. I was like, okay. I think it was that lap actually where I was like, came down the hill too hot. I was like, oh no. But I made the turn and then I was thinking to myself on the straight, I was like, there's nobody behind me. Like, let's take it down like a notch. Like, you had the first. Yeah. Keep checking behind you, like here and there, but like
just take it home.
Was that the race where we had the traffic with the rider school, or was that the second?
No, this was the last race. Tell me the last race.
Yeah. Well, what was the race that we had the traffic?
I didn't have the traffic. You had the traffic.
Well, no, you were stuck behind.
Yeah, but I got past them. That's what I'm talking about. That's race 8.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I got past them. It took.
Yeah, but it took a while for you too.
Yeah, like I said, by like lap 4.
That's like taking it easy at the end. Like that's a big thing. Like if you know you're stuck in your position, like
I need somebody on the pit wall to go like.
But not Nick.
Yeah. No, that one
I think
was
because Nicky he measures it in real distance.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you had a gap, and then you said you got passed in turn 7, that's not on me. That's on you. You got a gap in front straight, and you get passed in 7. But no, that one was tough for both of us because especially like the first part of that lap, they so it was somebody from a rider school, and then a random, and then Carter, and then myself. There was 4 of us. But the 2 people in the front, they kept on. I don't know if the second guy was trying to pass, and like the rider was like the school person was.
That was D class, so I think they were on like slightly bigger machines.
Maybe
because it felt like in some of the turns I was like, you're kind of pulling on me.
Yeah. Because like you would go for a pass, but then either like second or first would swing in front, and you would have to back off because you couldn't make it. And then eventually Carter got around, and then eventually I got around, and that was fun.
The third race was probably my favorite race of today.
Yeah.
I liked the second one the best.
Because you didn't go up on.
Well, outside of that, in the second race, I had a lot more. Closer battles between people and passing.
If they let me go into like if they move my class into the right race tomorrow for the 400 stuff, I for sure think that'll be the most fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow I think it's technically race 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the schedule, but yeah.
We'll talk about that in the morning. I'm kind of getting chewed up by mosquitoes. I don't know what y'all.
Yeah, we're ready to get out of here.
I want some food.
But overall, really, pasta.
Carb load.
I am fat. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it again.
Big back.
Quick shout out to our sponsors, TST,
Dan
Law. Personally, like special shout out to MWC and Eric over there helping me get my bike ready so that I could play with it this weekend.
Really good shop in Daytona.
Yeah, definitely check them out. Suspension, Continental tires.
Link in the description.
But yeah, even just calling him today and being like, hey, this is happening. What do you like? He wasn't able to make it this weekend. He really wanted to, but he still had like his phone on so that we could call him, and like he'd still remote trackside support, I guess. I did have to go to the Dunlop trailer to swap my tires. Sorry. The unicorn duct tape's pretty cool though. But yeah, thanks to all of our sponsors, including Mayhew Tools, which helped me put together and helped us all drill our safety wire.
Yeah.
Except for Steve.
Except for mine, yeah. And really just everybody at the track. Like, if you're at the track, you're racing, awesome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you in the morning.
Later.